Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. Today, we're continuing our ongoing campaign of Twilight 2000. We're playing Twilight 2000 using the Free League version of the rule set, the fourth edition of Twilight 2000. And we have been running through, over the past almost 5 years, we've been running through the initial four adventures from the 1980s era Twilight 2000 first edition. We've done Free City of Krakow, Black Madonna, Pirates of the Vistula, and the Ruins of Warsaw, which Free League has redone at least the Black Madonna, and they've kind of redone Pirates of the Vistula as Hostile Waters. However, like the stuff that was introduced in the stuff that was introduced in the original Free City of Krakow, was kind of explained there, but then in the new edition, they haven't. It doesn't seem that they haven't quite decided what one of the MacGuffins is or does, and it's kind of divided between urban operations and I guess hostile waters, and maybe they're coming up with a book in the future actually called Operation Reset, which is interesting. But we're not kind of doing that. I guess if we were ever to start Twilight 2000 over again without those, that's how it would go. But in this case, our Operation Reset has already decided what it does and what it is and what it could do. So yeah. So I think maybe that's where we'll start off, and just have you guys. I know last time we left, Rupert was talking to a woman singer dancer in Nostrovi, which is a nightclub here in Krakow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the heart of Krakow here, this map that you see. And where is...
I was just pulling up a picture of a mysterious singer for our viewers.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I just did now.
Okay, yeah, I don't see it. But
It's
yeah,
the
mysterious singer.
It's at the very bottom.
Oh, is it? I don't know why I went to the very bottom. I thought I introduced her a lot earlier. Oh, maybe that's what happened. Yep. So this is her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people learned or knew somehow that she was actually an agent from Israeli intelligence, and has ties to the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of just try to figure out what Operation Reset. So the Free Krakow Coalition, way back, one of the first adventures, even before they got to Krakow, came upon a convoy that had all these papers about Operation Reset. They learned about it. They looked at the papers, and eventually they found a prototype, and it sort of has been uncovered, right? So this was at the University of Lodz. There was this young Polish computer expert named Piotr Szczerwinski, and he worked at the university on a device which could revolutionize the post-war world, apparently. So as you might imagine, among the casualties of war were hundreds of thousands of computers, microcomputers, and machines responsible for running businesses, governments, etc. The heart of the computers from this time, based on the knowledge of the 80s, 90s, early aughts, is a CPU. And the silicon chip controlled and directed the operations. So RAM, ROM, whatever, all those kind of acronyms are the essence. So many computer chips throughout the world were destroyed during the EMPs of the nuclear strikes and counterstrikes in 97 and 98. And our technology has since hardened a lot of these, but back then they were not. So many more, of course, were destroyed and rioting, destruction, etc. So really, there's no computers, very few working computers that were found. Although actually, I think Rupert's previous incarnation of Jonesy found some working computers in the KGB base in Krakow. So including some, rudimentary wireless technology, at least, they're using radio signals like ham radio and having a pseudo cell phones, right? Anyway, those are all, so of course, prototypes. So, Dr. Czerwinski developed what the DIA is called an MCCS, So a government ease for modular computer chip surrogate. So it was basically a how I guess the designers of this Twilight 2000 would conceive of a hardened microchips. Um, Although the actual surrogate was the size of a typical desktop computer, and that's sort of the prototype. And they found the prototype. You guys found the prototype with those Marauders, right? It was in the camp of those Marauders.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, but it was disassembled.
Yeah, and
Incomplete.
Jonesy, Kasha et al.
Diaz.
Diaz probably helped as well. Kind of put it back together, and it could be, but it was it could be mechanically wired or rewired to duplicate any of several pre-war computer chips. So probably a computer based on quantum mechanics, I would say, based on our current knowledge, but very cutting edge and almost only theoretical and sci-fi like back then, right? So with the MCCS, the computers could become operational again, and the computer directed communication. Well, and you can imagine how that would, if you could make computers operational again, you can imagine what that could do for the various governments in their states, right? So obviously, CIA, DIA, KGB, GRU, et cetera, want to get this thing, right? So, yeah, but no one planned. So the DIA was trying to get it, but you know, but it didn't really work because of the battle in Lotz, so which started our campaign, right? And so that's kind of where we are. That's kind of what it does. So even the guy was, yeah. So you guys have papers, blueprints, rolls of film, pictures of the equipment, and then he also had a prototype. So that was captured by the Strike Zulu people, and you met a guy who was dying on the road way back, right? And they were in turn ambushed by the Marauders near Shestashova, and that's where they were left for dead, and that's where you guys found it. So it's interesting.
He was one of the few NPCs that Kasha was never able to save.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. She crazily saved some other people.
Blood transfusions.
She still does. She still does that.
She still does crazy things, but that's okay. She's come
back.
Right,
so I guess we would have to decide finally, or what is to be, knowing that information. What I guess Rupert is the inheritor of it, although I guess Kasha and the Free Krakow Coalition has a stake in it. But Kasha promised Jonesy, or in her mind, promised Jonesy that she would pass it on to his people. So Germany. So what do you guys want to do with it? And we can figure that out and plan for the future campaign, or what might happen in Krakow in the next few years, or wherever.
Okay, for reset, Rupert, to just go ahead into what Rupert's plan is for reset.
Yeah.
So Rupert, he's only been with the group for a little bit of time compared to how long Jonesy's been in. But Jonesy has been the one gathering reset, getting intel for it, building everything together. Rupert will understand this as well as see the legacy of Jonesy, so to speak, with what he's done with the Krakow Coalition. So he thinks it will probably be in Jonesy's best interest that he probably would have used reset at Krakow. But with Rupert still having orders to take it back home to Germany, as well as to get a squad back home, ideally he wants to help restart Krakow for Jonesy, and then take reset and the blueprints back to Germany. So he's going to use it there to help him out, get restructured, and then take it back to Germany. And then after that, depends on how Germany's climate is. Well, kind
Yeah.
of see if it stays there or he'll be moving with it to other parts to help out Europe.
So I think we need two kind of skill roles to show or to see the progress or the how things go. One, you're going to have to keep putting off the DIA guy,
Yes.
um, and you do have a CIA contact. You don't know who the CIA contact is here in Krakow, though, quote unquote Tanya um, knows knows who that is and had suggested she could lead you to them, but you can try to put them off as much as you can. You also have a more trusted CIA person in that guy Blackstone, John Blackstone, who was with the Soviet 10th guards that had traveled with you from the ruins of Warsaw
and fought with us.
Yeah, and he fought with you. He's kind of, remember that the Soviet 10th are like artillery and Kazakh horse cavalry, stuff like that, right? They're more of an artillery unit, so like a guard, a motorized rifle division or guards division, with a specialty in artillery. But they had fought with you, but his plan. I mean, whether I don't know if you've even told him about reset or not, but his plan is adamant that he wants to go to the Mediterranean. Right? He feels like that's the way he wants to get back to the U.S. or to U.S. forces in the Mediterranean or the Middle East. I don't know if anyone's going to go with them. I think you given because you gave sort of Pope John Paul II airport over to the remains of the Soviet 10th. They're part of the Free Krakow. They're part of we should just call them the artillery division or artillery platoon.
Mounted horsemen.
Of the Free Krakow Coalition. And I mean, anyway, they're part of the Free Krakow Coalition, formerly of the 10th. So they're content to stay. I mean, especially if they try to rebuild all the land and territory around there, come springtime, right? They're fine. And there's probably plenty of displaced refugees and people that can become part of their group or clan, So these Russian or Kazakh and Ukrainian men can maybe find some widows and orphans to start families, really, here in Krakow. So that's one task that we can do a role for that. Whoever you want to do the role, like that's probably a persuasion or a command of some sort. And the other thing is, if Rupert wants to leave the legacy here in Krakow. I mean, copying the blueprints and all that kind of stuff is no big deal, but maybe building a second prototype, that would be a tech task, So maybe with Kasha's help, you can put those guys off.
Kasha can help putting them off because she can talk to them. And as far as tech,
I'll have Diaz probably help since she was there to help fix the first one.
Well,
but Rupert has good tech, right?
Diaz's tech, let me pull her up, is AA.
So is Rupert's.
Yeah.
So she's probably a good one to work with you on that one.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she also helped with the first one, so it makes sense she would help with the second.
We can do a role that was introduced in some of the third-party products, and it's probably going to be introduced.
And can we say, Carl, that Kasha would have taken the Russian words and translated them for them? So
it's all in Polish.
Some of it was in Russian, which is why Kasha needed to read it. So she would have translated that for Rupert. So his would all be, she would have put it in English for him.
Okay.
Although she can speak some German and she can write some German, I don't think she would have put it in German.
Be fine. I'll be fine in Polish, and Rupert knows Polish.
Okay, then she would have put it all in Polish, but I don't know that Rupert knows Russian.
He doesn't know much.
So she would have translated it for you before she went off to talk to the others, just so that it said that she would have done that for you.
Okay.
Because she would have had to have done that for Jonesy.
But Jonesy knew Russian.
He knew some. He knew some, but it's if you take the plans in half Polish and Russian to Germany and you have a German that doesn't speak Polish or Russian, that doesn't help. And Polish and Russian are very similar but different.
I mean, you guys could have translated them to English as best you could too, right?
Yeah.
So, taking pictures and made notes and translated them. That's not.
I'm just saying those parts that Kasha needed to be there for, she would have translated for you, so she could go off and do something else, and you could just work with Diaz. You wouldn't need her.
Right.
But if you come across questions, Florian's also fluent in Russian because of Kasha. Or better known Maggie. But
yeah, so it's the Polish. Looking back at when you found the notes. So, maybe some notes in Russian.
Maybe offhand.
Yeah, but if they read
later on.
Yeah, if you read Polish, you know that it's quantum computer circuitry. We'll just call it that.
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty fascinating, and you could probably. I mean, they have an artillery plant here in Krakow, so you could probably machine some of the parts and all that kind of stuff potentially to make a second prototype. But that's
Rapecki could probably help you get what you need as well.
Yeah,
he's just doing it on the open market now instead of
right.
As a mafia.
Yeah, some rare earth metals. I mean, you have to track down rare earth metals and stuff.
And I do know one of the things that Kasha is adamant about is getting rid of this quote unquote slavery thing that's going on, this serfdom that's going on. She wants that gone.
Yeah, that's a long term. That's a long term thing.
But. Right, but I mean, she would have started as soon as she saw it, asking the people who's doing this to you and.
Well, it's the government of Krakow.
Which we're trying to overhaul anyways. And we put Rapecki in there, and Rapecki wasn't in favor of that. And
right.
You know. And we have a seat on that board, so we speak our mind too. And I don't think the general was in favor of it, so.
Well, the general probably was more concerned about, military threats to Krakow.
Yes, but to keep his job, keep his job, he will influence those that can influence. So he's against it because he's told to be against it.
Okay, all right. So we'll have Kasha try to persuade or keep the, and then people like Tops and others can help with the conversations, but they really won't contribute to the persuasion part. Like you can persuade and say, look, we're trying to translate it for you to English. Okay, that's fine.
Do you want me to push the D12?
That's up to you. You succeeded.
Okay. She's fine with success.
And then Rupert, you can roll for getting a prototype in place, and then now you have reset to go on.
Do you need Diaz's roll too?
So here's what you can do. If Diaz is helping you and you both have AAs, you can roll a D12 and a D20.
Okay.
D12 and a D20.
Right. And you still need over a 6. So like and Amy's experienced it when they have like she's experienced like a supernatural encounters, and they've done this with let's say if they threw like vampires and werewolves or supernatural creatures in some of the third-party supplements in Twilight 2000. They give them a status of X, which was as a D20. So they have say like a vampire would have agility X, right, or something. So they have a D20 and then a D whatever.
That's cool,
that, right? Although Amy's character was not fighting vampires. It was spirits, I think, right? Forest spirits and the like.
Yes.
That was a cool adventure. Anyway. That'd be fun to do. Listeners, you did not. 12. You already got 2 successes.
12.
That's 4 successes, dude.
You have 7 prototypes.
No, so it's
no.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
So you're able to create a working prototype. So now you have 2 prototypes. One here for Krakow in southern Poland, and then and then one to take. Right. So I don't know if you. It's up to you if you want to take the original or the. I mean, but they both. But this is a pretty amazingly successful prototype that you and Diaz and
I'll
put
probably leave
together.
the prototype here, and then I mean the really well one that we just made here, and then
Okay.
take the original one with.
Okay. And then you have like English copies of the stuff. You have
Mm-hmm.
the original Polish, several copies. So
Mm-hmm.
you put them off. I don't. So are you gonna give the U.S. people or any of this or no?
Well, Kasha was going to ask Rupert if he wants her to take the CIA agent that we met in Warsaw aside and talk to him and see if he's heard anything about it. And if he's looking for it, then he can come talk to you. Or what would you like her to do?
Just to see what he knows and what he likes. Because have we heard rumors of what the climate is in the U.S.?
It's terrible from what we know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is across the ocean, but you have heard about. Right, it's a good point. So you have heard there's two governments in the U.S. Civgov and Milgov, and they each have different territories um, in the U.S. and they're definitely at odds. And then there's a third faction that is gaining ground.
Well,
I can't remember.
Aldona got information that there's a lot of disease and sickness going on as well,
Oh, right, and famine
and famine.
because the Heartland was hit pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let me see if there's anything that I can. The World at War. See if they have any more tidbits that you might know. America. Yeah. So, the United States did not suffer the mass conventional battles of Europe. So its descent into chaos and deprivation was slower, coming from nuclear strikes and a breakdown of society. So here you go. So you have like the old system of democratic rule fractured along two primary lines: emergency military junta, Milgov, and the original civilian government, Civgov. And the vast majority of Americans fall under the aspects of neither. But also that means vast stretches of the country are under control, be it from former elected authorities, militias, communal-based councils, and other darker experiments in applied democracy. So, yeah. So that's kind of what you've heard or known.
Got it. In that case, you can ask the CIA to see what they know, but don't give any information about that we have it.
She wouldn't.
But I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out as soon as we start getting power.
Well, yeah. We want to know what he knows first. And if he's trusted, it's one of those. If he's trusted and we trust him and you trust him, then we can let him in on it. Because maybe instead of returning to America, what would make more sense for him is to travel with you to promote unity by using Operation Reset.
Possible. Because I know...
Blackstone? You mean Blackstone?
Yes. It's about maybe changing his mind. Maybe he wants to go on the mission going home that our Marines keep alluding to. Maybe we encourage him to go with them.
Yeah. So I guess if you talk to Blackstone, I mean he's really laid low, and he has been reluctant to liaison with any U.S. intelligence here in Krakow.
Well, I think the way Kasha would handle it is to have Rupert, Florian, and he come to her apartment for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he doesn't have a problem with the kids, but they're good kids.
Yeah. I mean, he's fine. He's surprised, but he's fine with that. I mean, he's really, he's trying to gather and gain supplies and see if anyone wants to go with him, to the Mediterranean. So maybe we should introduce that now. So you get word from Chesta Sheeny. That's where you have sort of, I don't know, they're trying to rebuild Shestashini after the attack on the Soviet 20th, and you have the Marine Recon group there led by Reed and Garcia up there, and then they kind of tell you maybe on the 15th of October, the next day from when we last left off, that they get a communication, and they intercepted a communication, and roughly they say that there's something called Operation Omega, and essentially they're calling for a evacuation of U.S. forces from Europe. He says, and by the 15th of November, they're going to report to Bremerhaven, and a ship is going to leave for the U.S.
Okay.
So he requests that you pass it on to the Americans there in Krakow.
If they wish to leave, yes.
And then they're thinking about doing it. He estimates it'd take like 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get to Bremerhaven.
But would they leave? Would they be leaving before Christmas? Because that would be a bad idea to travel in the winter.
Well, yes, we have to leave. We have to leave. We're going to leave in 2 weeks, they would say, because we have to be there by the 15th. I'd rather leave sooner. But yeah, so we should probably meet somewhere to say our goodbyes, maybe at the castle. So
I mean, obviously they can't take their tanks and everything, right? They won't be allowed to take those into Germany. There's no way.
As well.
But I can suggest something if you'll listen. I can.
As well, the orders are that we're to turn all that equipment over to Germany.
I was going to make a suggestion that if you wished, I can talk to them here at Krakow about using their Mi-8, and we can take the Hind. We can by helicopter take you guys up there.
I think that wouldn't that be risky?
Not as risky as traveling in the snow and ice without proper supplies, without anywhere that you can refill your water or get extra food if anything happens.
I wouldn't want them to shoot down your helicopter or
but we could
commandeer your helicopter.
We could get you up to Warsaw,
or at least the border of Germany.
Yes,
that would shave some days off, assuredly. All right.
But what about some of our vehicles here? Like, I'm not sure Ruber will leave a Spock Lux behind.
No. She's only talking to the Marines that want to get up there.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't have room to put them there, and what are you going to do with all that equipment? You know.
Got it.
But he could travel with them.
But
I don't know.
If your men want to head up that way, it's not a good idea to travel in the winter storms, but so be it.
Yeah, or Rupert could wait until the spring to do what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Which could work too, you know? Well, I mean, I think it would... Reed personally thinks it'd be a risk. But you might use the helicopter either. I would rather... It's better we go on foot or just take some of the technicals and some trucks. I'm not thinking we should take any of the tanks. There's plenty of vehicles here in Shestashini we can take that wouldn't be a big loss to Krakow.
If that's what you wish to do.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
But I do ask that you delay 1 day because we have Americans in Krakow that may need to be brought over to meet up with you.
Oh, yes, we're not leaving I guess it's the 15th. We're not leaving tomorrow, the 16th of October. We're We'll probably leave in 2 weeks. So by the it says Halloween, I guess.
That's what you wish.
So the 31st. Okay. All right.
But on the heels of that, she would call the CIA guy to her apartment with Rupert and Florian. And quite frankly, probably Volkov too, because Volkov likes the kids and he likes to play with the kids. So
yeah.
And he's part of the FCC.
Yeah, Blackstone's definitely. Well, he says we should go. Well, I'd rather go to the Mediterranean. He says I'm not. I don't know. He's definitely amenable to helping Rupert get this to Germany and or France even. But I don't know. He's not in a hurry, and he's not really wanting to go to Bremerhaven in a month's time to take off to the United States.
That is your choice, but orders.
But if you wait till the spring, Rupert, I'm glad to accompany you.
But Kasha just wants to let him know that orders were given, and we hide nothing from you.
So, well, in the meantime, maybe I can talk to this Kozakovsky guy, the CIA guy in Krakow, and say, well, it doesn't really work. It's a sham. I mean,
but does he know that we were going to test it there? Do we want to tell him that, Rupert?
I mean, but that could give Rupert, since you did so well on that role, you could screw it up. I mean, you could make a false prototype if you really wanted to do that.
I could. I'd rather not. I think I might have him accompany us in the spring.
Well, I can talk to this guy and help dissuade him from asking too many questions and say it's a red herring, it's a dead end. You know.
But
I like that idea.
But if it works when we turn it on, then they know it's not a red herring.
Well, then I guess I'll have to get rid of him.
Well, if we can try to keep it, what might happen? What might be a good idea?
I mean, so I guess I say, Rupert, you rolled so well, so it's going to take some time, like years, to get it to. I mean, you could probably right now you can get it to work in a lab. Probably another a year, 9 months to a year to get it to work in a building. So it's going to be like some time before you get it to,
Oh yeah, no, that I have a feeling of. But my thing is he's going to find out either way once I bring it back to Germany, because with NATO.
Oh, because
with NATO and everything else, they might still have a few contacts there. So because of that, word's going to spread fast, especially in Europe. And then it's only a matter of time before the U.S. finds out.
Well, finders keepers, I guess.
But what if we gave him a copy of just the plans?
That would probably satisfy him.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. We do have multiple copies of it.
I don't know how he's going to get it to the U.S., but
maybe that'll give him incentive. Piece.
Maybe that'll give him incentive to leave.
Or go with these guys in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Give him the copy and tell him, look, we're giving this to you because we trust you, but the stipulation is you need to leave in 2 weeks because that's the orders that we've heard come out from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And then have Blackstone say nothing to him.
Right, so you can decide if you want to give it to DIA or CIA now. Or have Blackstone give it to CIA and you give it to DIA.
We have multiple copies, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, how they're going to put it together, that's on them.
Right, their task would be to then get it, to some working.
I mean, couldn't we give
facility.
half to one and half to the other? Because aren't they both U.S. organizations anyhow?
Yeah, but they have a rivalry.
They have a definite rivalry.
Actually, so Blackstone would say that yes, the relations between us and them, he being CIA and the DI, are very poor. The DI has been trying to thwart our plans forever.
But that might be able to have as incentive for unity. For them to work together to build the prototype.
So if we give them just one copy, but both of them have to go with our Marines back home because we heard the orders?
No, we can give half of the blueprints to one, and then give the other half to the DIA. And the hopes for them to work, but it might be best interest is to give each one a copy.
I think it's better to give each one a copy because what if one unalives before the other?
Or they try to take each other.
Their bets, or they try to take each other out.
Right. Yeah, it's better to.
We'll do that.
It's better to give them each a copy, and then we're done. We're done.
Yep.
But I would like you to stay hidden in Krakow as best as possible because I don't want them questioning why you're not returning.
Well, he goes, well, I can pass for a Russian or a Kazakh. No worries.
Because in this town, you're considered a friend.
Right. Yes, well, and at the airport, of course.
Worse?
And not at the airport, of course.
Oh, I said worse. And I'm like, who's treating him worse?
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's cool. All right, so that's a plan.
That's a plan.
Those are given. All right, so I'm going to see. I'll let you know what the results are, but I'm going to roll off camera what these guys are going to do. All right. So it looks like the DIA guy you hear through the grapevine. The CIA guy is going to kind of wants to stay here. He'll hold on to this. But the DIA guy.
Well, if the CIA is not going to take it back, then what's he going to do with it?
I don't know. But he's not leaving. He's not going to leave with the group. The other guy, Colonel Richard Stark, he was the director of operations in southern Poland. That's a guy who's at the rail station.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try to join Operation Omega.
Okay.
So, and he thanks you greatly. He'll probably turn all. I don't know who is this person here. It used to be Jonesy was his contact in the Free Krakow Coalition. I guess he would contact. You think he'd contact Kasha? Sense?
More than likely, yeah. That would be he would know that they would be traveling together.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Stark contacts Kasha. Kind of gives you that. He's going to go with like a small group of Nazarene, but he gives you all the information you need to know about the Nazarenes' operations and as a partisan group in southern Poland.
Are they in need of another leader?
He gives you the guy. He introduced you to Gustav.
Okay.
Gustav Krankowitz. He tells you his name's John Smith, but he's Polish actually. Mm-hmm. He's kind of Polish American, but he's going to take over. Gustav Krankowitz. That's the first guy that tops that actually.
Yes.
But
and Tops, I do not believe wants to return. He likes to stay.
Well, that is good. Oh, that is good. So he can help. So okay, that's good. Tops and Gustav can help run things. But he wants to. He needs to. I need to get this to America. I don't know what the CIA guy is going to do. I guess he's a little more cagey. Maybe he wants to hold on to it.
Well, Kasha wants to ask the new leader of the Nazarene, can you please do me a favor?
Yeah.
out of kindness, can you please? There is a group near Silius of Americans that I do not believe have gotten the word about Operation Omega. Could you please travel to them and alert them?
I think they probably would have gotten that information if if your group in Chestashini got it, then they probably got it too. They're closer to Germany. I mean, by maybe a tens or 20s of kilometers, but yeah. But I will try to find out and make sure. Sure.
You are welcome to use the radios if you need to make communications to them.
Yep, they have a radio too, the DIA, but they're leaving that here. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy wants to do. I mean, this is small. He has a radio in the attic. The CIA guy.
It does not make much sense for you not to return and take the paperwork.
Oh no, that guy's Stark's leaving, but you haven't really met the other guy, Kosakowski.
That is up to them.
Yep. Or maybe he wants to wait. He's going to wait until the spring too. Who knows?
Mr. Big Little German? What is
just a German?
What is the phrase? You cannot lead a horse to water and make him drink? Is that it? Is that the phrase?
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Exactly.
I thought Blackstone's I thought that was an American saying.
I have spent too much time around Americans. I do not understand.
Same thing.
Yes, I know.
Don't you know Americans steal from everybody else, so it's fine.
That is true.
Tell me, where's your hamburger come from?
A cow.
No.
McDonald's is an American invention.
The marketing is, but not the burger.
Uh-oh. If I had a computer, I would fact check you on that.
If we're still at our apartment, I would think that Alexei would come over and kind of climb into Rupert's lap and show him his toys. He's got a little airplane. It might be missing one wing, but he has it.
He'll be a little startled at first, but then welcome in.
Okay.
Cool. All right, I think. All right, so we know what Reset's going to do. We already kind of maybe foreshadowed going home.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to cut scene in a way.
Okay.
Unless let's take a 5-minute break first, and then cut scene.
I can do that.
Okay.
So we are pausing, and while we're paused, our viewers can hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and make sure they share the video.
Yep.
And we'll be back in a blink in the eye.
All right. So we cut scene to Cilicia Rasabowitz in the compound, or he hasn't called it a castle yet, the manor where Julian Lipovich resides, and he finally pulls out. Sometime after the meeting between Florian and Julian, he pulls out the letter finally, and here's the letter.
Mm-hmm.
So you can. Do you want to read it, Amy, or do you want me to read it?
You read it. I don't play Julian.
Oh, Jules, I do not know how to say this to you, so I am writing it to you as I leave to serve my country in this war. I do this not only to protect my family, but avenge Maggie. I know you have not been close to me since your resentment of me for becoming a football star. Your envy of me has caused us to drift apart, and to add salt to the wounds, you made
sense.
What sense? You made what? My Maggie
heard.
You made sure my Maggie heard you tell me that the only good Russian wife is the one that you buy. I cannot begin to tell you how this caused me to have a complete loss of trust in you and question my love. Today I received a note that my dear Maggie was near the site of those where the bomb went off and may or may not have been made it out alive. I hate that I hate that this last memory of you was hearing that and of me not defending her. If I die and never see you again, please know I am hurting and angry and do not know what to say to you to make you be my loving big brother again, Florian. Sorry, I can't read your handwriting.
It's not my handwriting.
Anyway, so he reads that letter.
Okay.
And who knows how he feels inside about it. But I will say that maybe about a week later, you guys get a call. Well, a radio a request for a radio meeting.
Okay.
All right. So from Julian. Oh, just to remind people, Julian and Maria Filipovich, the ruler of Cilicia, the Margrave and his wife. Okay. Cool.
Is he calling Florian or calling Kasia?
Florian.
Okay. Florian will get on the radio.
Okay.
This is Florian.
So, brother.
Yes.
My wife says I should apologize.
You have a smart wife.
So how do we resolve this?
I already attempted to resolve with you, and I was met with your dismissal of my wife, my children, and my desire to unify. So I suppose you just want to be allies, and that is it.
Well, you did invite us to see the Black Madonna.
And my wife invited you for Christmas dinner.
I think we should go. I think we will go.
Then I will tell Kasia to expect you. Are you bringing Maria and the children?
Yes.
Brother, will you make me a promise?
Please let your rulers know. I do not know if there will be time for diplomacy, and definitely let His Holiness know.
Are you bringing an entourage?
Of course I'm bringing an entourage. But it is not. I mean, one must protect themselves along the road. There are spies and assassins out there.
If it's just you and the children and Maria that want to come, I'm sure Kasia and I could pick you up in the helicopter.
I think we will have an entourage.
So be it. But I have a favor to ask.
Yes.
Please do not be dismissive of my children in front of them again. Those are Kasia and I's children. They are Alexei and Katiana.
I will. It will be good for our children to meet.
Yes.
Right, well, he hangs up.
Okay. I'm sure Kasia would go to Rupert and them, and we go to all the channels to let them know that they're coming.
Okay.
Please do not fire upon them. And I think Kasia would even suggest, why don't we drive out halfway and bring them in with us? And
that's probably a good idea.
She will ask Rupert if he and his men would like to go, because Volkov wants to go. Volkov wants to drive. because Volkov wants to play with the kids. Not in a bad way. Just he likes the kids.
He's like Uncle. What's his name? Alexis? Not Alexi, is it?
No.
Uncle Max.
Yeah,
Maxime. Yeah, his name's Maxime. Yeah, it's Uncle Max.
Yeah.
I call him Mad Max because of the American movie. Yeah.
So I would think Cigna would go with 2.
Okay. What are you taking out there?
Probably the ambulance, maybe.
Ambulance, okay. And if Rupert goes, it's Papanzer.
I mean,
is that right?
I don't think we need to take anything with a lot of guns. We're just going to meet them and bring them in.
Right.
Yeah, well, Rupert said might bring a Spocklock just because that's his familiar vehicle.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like you're going to shoot him or anything, but...
Or will he? I don't know.
It depends what happens. He almost shot me last time, just saying. Just saying.
Oh, maybe.
Julian didn't shoot you. He tried.
Well, they were lining up. Well, Cigna was going to shoot him.
Oh, Cigna had a dead-on shot.
Yeah, but wasn't Julian also... Isn't that also Florian's brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were last out there. Remember, he had his tank taking sights up on me, but then they didn't fire because I didn't fire.
Right.
That's to be expected, though, because that's the way Julian is. Kasha will tell you, do you think nothing of him? He is just a big bully and a little bear body.
Doesn't matter. If he fires first, I fire back. That's how it works.
Don't worry. If he goes to even pull a trigger on something, we will take him out quickly. Just not when Florian is looking. I don't want to toss strife, but Ren does not trust his brother either. Not entirely.
Okay.
And I would think Tatiana would like pick little flowers. You know how there's weeds during the winter time?
Yeah.
But she thinks they're pretty flowers. She would pick some for Uncle Max. So I envision Volkov riding along with these little weeds in his hair.
I guess.
Well, I mean, he's trying to be a good uncle.
Maybe.
Couldn't you see that?
So they're coming from... So just to let people know, they're coming from here, Russ and Porsche. So they'll probably go that way and up to here.
We can't see where you're... Okay, down here?
Yeah, and then across. So you probably could meet them in the mountains here or something.
Yeah.
Or at the beginning of the hills.
Yeah, it's about where we met them originally.
Yeah, because you guys are like here.
And then just bring them the rest of the way in.
Right. Okay. All right.
And as best as possible, Kasha would have made cookies for them.
All right.
What kind of cookies?
Yeah.
Well, probably like oatmeal.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. If there's a lot of sugar around, she'd make sugar cookies. Maybe we'll say she made sugar cookies because she could use honey.
And you could use honey or molasses.
Yeah, she could make them. She'll make sugar cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, she's gonna try her best to be hospitable.
I probably should have a thing of Maria separate, but I don't know if that's necessary. So again, this is them for everyone to see.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll see if anything happens on the road. So I guess we kind of. I should ask before we do this. So I mean, you probably meet and say goodbye to Reed, Garcia. I guess Captain Stark is going with or Colonel Stark is going with them, and then the Marines, and we'll decide at some point anyone else who wants to leave or to go back.
Okay.
What happened?
What?
Everything disappeared for me.
No, it's up on our screen.
Okay.
I mean, I would think they would have met and embraced, said their goodbyes, told them to stay in touch as best as they could.
Right.
And they're always welcome to return. They always have a home here.
Cool. All right. So then, what do you guys do for the month of November?
Well, before Julian gets there?
Yeah, he's probably going to come for
Christmas?
I mean, he's going to come like Christmas time, right?
I mean, Kasha would definitely meet with the doctors for Yosef.
Yeah, and it definitely snows in November. Probably mid-November it'll snow.
I think as best as they could, they would find a tree that looks like a Christmas tree to put inside.
Yeah.
Or maybe they even found one in a closet somewhere. And she
like
would
a plastic one?
Yeah, like a fake tree. Or if there's one that is outside.
I mean, there's forests around. You can go and cut some down.
We'll just cut a tree down and try to decorate it and make it look festive. And I think Kasha would go around to different places and see if she couldn't find new toys and new little outfits for the kids.
Yep.
And then she would she'd get a little box and put some memories in it and wrap it up tight for Florian. But the last time she saw Florian's mom and dad, she went and saw them, but Florian was not there, and Mom gave her some pictures to hold on to, which would have been pictures from Julian and Maria's wedding and stuff, because they saw things brewing. So she would take those pictures and put them in a box and wrap them up for Julian and Maria too. Because although the memories are there, the pictures are precious too.
Okay.
And she put it all under the tree.
What is Rupert doing for the month of November?
Of November. Well, he'll just be probably working part of the week, trying to get everything situated and within reset what he can, and then just keeping the morale up with the squad, letting them take breaks and whatnot, letting them know that it's a matter of time before we get back home. Figure out what they want to do.
Would it be wise or permissible for Volkov, Rupert, and Florian to go on a hunting trip in November to get the meat for Christmas dinner?
I mean, if for Christmas dinner, we can do it in December because it's mostly going to be a ham.
You could probably find pigs around.
Well, but I meant just the three of them to go off like an overnight hunting trip to spend time kind of bonding, being guys. Maybe teaching Florian how to drink again. He's not good.
I mean, we could do that on the nights, We don't necessarily need to go hunting for that.
Well, that's true.
Oh, you can just do that in Krakow. You don't have to go out.
Yeah, but she wants Florian to go out and restock their freezer for meats and stuff too, so that way they have plenty of food.
You want to prep for the harsh winter.
Well, not just that, but I mean, she feeds Volkov and Vlad and you guys, and she just wants to make sure that there's plenty for everyone, and especially if Julian and Maria are coming and the kids, we want to make sure that their bellies are full too. So I think like a moose, a deer, some other little things here and there.
Okay.
Maybe even some fish from the river and stuff. I think all throughout, and I mean we have some electricity, so we're able to freeze stuff.
So you guys are going to go out hunting or not?
Well, Florian and Volkov are going. Do you want to go with them, Rupert?
I don't know. I mean, I can. If they invite me, then yes.
Yeah. Volkov, I envision putting his hand around you or arm around you and going, hey, look, medium-sized German, because You're neither big nor little. You get mad about that, but you got to come with us.
You can just say German. There's no need to put a size. But yes.
Come on. We're going to go be rugged out in the wilderness like real men.
I mean, real men do other stuff too. They don't have to go into the woods to be real men.
So does that mean you're staying here?
No, but I'm just pointing out the fact that you don't have to be. You can be a real man elsewhere. You don't have to be out into the woods to do it.
All right. So give me a survival roll, somebody.
Okay.
Are you going out into the woods? Or are you going
in like a neighboring area? But you need survival.
What? Yeah, hold on.
I'm trying to
modified for terrain type.
Flurry doesn't have the greatest survival.
Well, so whoever has the best survival.
I'm looking. He's a DC and AD on Volkov, but I think AD.
What
about Rupert for survival?
He's not that great, but he'll do his best.
Well, what is that? What is it?
AD.
All right. So let's just let Vince roll. So you get a bonus.
That's fine.
You get a bonus because it's wood, so it's going to be AC.
Yay!
That's a success. All right, so roll. Oops, there it is. Roll a d6.
5.
Wow. Okay.
Good job, you three.
Speaking of ham, all right. So whoever you want to take, who has got the best shot? Rupert, you're able to track a boar.
Okay.
A boar?
Yeah. Who wants to take the shot?
Would this be ranged?
Yeah.
Florian has an AA.
All right. There you go.
More than likely him, because
you can use a hunting rifle or a sniper rifle.
I'm a BD in range, so.
I'm trying to look. So I think he has, and he's in range combat. He gets a +1 modifier as well because he's going to use his bow.
He's going to use a bow? Okay.
His crossbow, yeah. So then it's an AA+.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he'll try again. That's better.
So what's the damage?
On that? On the bow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I have to go to combat. We're not in combat, so I didn't roll it. So it is damage is 2, crit is a 3.
Oh, so it's 3. All right, so roll a crit.
Well, roll a crit.
D6 and D10.
D6, D10.
Yeah, they don't have armor.
1-1.
You shoot it in the leg. Okay, it's incapacitated though with 3.
He's giving Rupert a chance. He doesn't want to do it all.
So someone has to finish it off. Well, it's incapacitated. But you're able to catch a boar. So there you got Christmas dinner. It gives you.
Will it be big enough for everybody?
Oh yeah, it's 14 units of food. Oh yeah, plenty big.
Oh, we got a feast.
Yeah, it's a feast. That's cool. All right. That'd be a hero point in any other game. That's pretty cool. All right. And on the way back, I guess probably about a couple days out.
Probably.
More than likely.
You want him to shoot something again?
No.
Are they going to stop and get some fish too?
No. So give me. Whoever has the best recon, give me a recon roll.
Recon's an AC, so I have a feeling Florian might be higher.
I'll look. Florian. Recon is a DA.
Wow.
Were you guys going north, south, east, or west?
Volkov.
From Krakow, by the way.
Volkov is AC.
So the same as me. Probably north, I'm assuming, because that's probably where more of the woods would be. I'm assuming.
Now he does have. He has a +1 modifier to his recon. So
north.
So it'd be CA. So you want him to roll CA?
So there's actually woods. There's actually woods to the south.
Hang on, I'm sorry. What did you say, Vince?
I have an AC.
So it'd be the same. So you might as well.
Yeah. So there's woods about 30 kilometers to the south, about 20 kilometers to the northwest, and across the river 30 kilometers to the east.
Okay.
North would be into the Carpathians. So I don't know. That's probably that might be the best bet.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So are we shooting something else now?
No.
I don't think one boar is enough to get Christmas and everybody else.
14 units of food?
Yeah, but look at how many people we have to feed.
I mean...
Well, who's all going to the feast? Are there going to be multiple feasts?
Well, I mean, just for the one feast, right? So that's,
one feast, but then you still have to feed.
They're two.
Carl,
Julie and Maria, they're two kids.
Listen. You still have to have food even after the festival to get us through the winter. So the idea was to get multiple animals, one for Christmas, and then the rest to feed us for the rest of the winter. One boar is not going to do that.
Well, there's like canned goods and all that kind of stuff. You guys have been working on that. I guess if you want fresh. I mean, okay, well, I'm trying to push things towards Christmas, but if you guys keep wanting to do this, that's fine.
I just wanted to shoot one more thing, Carl. Whatever.
All right, so roll another survival roll. We'll keep that recon roll though. Nice. Roll a d6. That is a moose.
That's better. Moose.
So he's going to take out the moose.
I'll let Amy do it.
Well, not Amy. Florian.
Yeah, no, but you're going to roll it.
This time I'll roll it off the combat tab, because then you'll be able to see it. So I think
moose have a hit capacity of 6, by the way.
So I think what he's going to do is do the SVD and fire twice. So I clicked off 2 ammo.
Okay. Ooh, that's good.
So it hit.
If you want to re-roll those 2 6s, you can if you want. It's gonna reduce the reliability, but you got all winter to fix it.
Yeah.
5 damage so far. It is a crit. That's 5 damage.
4
and 2. All right, so roll. It's a crit, so roll.
So it's 2 4s then. So 6 and a 10.
Yeah. Leg.
1
That's
and a 7.
lethal. So you probably have to track it. It's still alive, but 7. What does 7 do?
But Volkov's willing to go up and just use a knife.
Well, is he?
What do you mean, is he?
I mean, I'm going to look to see what 7 on the...
I mean, do we need to shoot it again?
Well, it's going to take off. 7. He hit it in the haunches. It is a lethal wound though. Okay. So it's slow. Its mobility is lessened. So you have to track it as it takes off, trying to get away. So you can try again. Well, I guess you guys will do it. It's not hard to track, but it's like roll recon to see how long it takes you to catch up to it. So Rupert, but you get a bonus dice. Would you like to re-roll that d12?
Yes, I will.
Oh no! I don't know.
I lost it.
Well, I think you fall down. You hurt yourself, right? You maybe fall.
Yeah.
Right. It's like snow on the ground. So that's 2
points. Slipped.
Yeah, you hurt yourself.
Florian would run after it with his crossbow, though.
Okay.
So does he need to shoot him again, or just do his recon?
You can't find it. So, all right.
Oh,
the event. So when all the player characters died, I'm trying to hunt a moose. All right.
No, but can he roll his recon again for it?
Well, yeah. In the next shift, you can try to roll the recon to see if you have to backtrack or where the moose got off to.
Or do you want Rupert to roll recon again?
It's whoever. It's another shift though.
So he got a 7.
All right, so Florian, you find by that time it's dead. You find it.
Okay.
So it takes a shift to die. So.
And then, let's see, I think Volkov might have some medical, or nope, Volkov has no medicine. Florian's got CD, but he can try and at least patch his wounds for right now.
Patch Rupert up.
Huh?
Patch Rupert up, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the moose.
It's just a spraying.
Yeah, so you got one back though. That's good.
But he gets back.
Mm-hmm.
The one that he lost there.
Yep.
We can't have you hobbling for Christmas there. When we get back, Kasha will do a much better job. She's actually a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I learned all of this from watching Doogie Howser, MD.
That's funny.
So you're a doctor learning from a fake doctor. So wouldn't that just make you a fake doctor?
Just call me a doctor.
The double fake.
Big little German.
Joke's on us. Her middle name's Doctor this entire time. That's why she's a doctor.
Right. That's
No,
funny.
Kasha is actually her middle name, so it's Magdalena Kasia
No, it's Dr.
Filipovich.
Kasia. It's Dr. Kasia.
Funny.
So yeah, so I mean, I'm sure you guys are getting all the meat back then.
Yeah, so that's going to be how much meat is that on these?
A moosey? I don't
know. A moose is a lot.
Moose is a lot. Moose will get us through everything.
I'm sure you took some horses because to carry all the stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's fine. But you guys have plenty of horses.
Do we need to roll to see how many units the moose is, or do you know?
I just rolled 28 units of food.
28. Okay.
Yep.
That'll definitely be enough. So we can have moose tacos and boar roast and.
All right. So back to that original recon. You guys have to clearly camp out. The horse snorts as you guys kind of dress the. You dressed the boar yesterday. You kept on hunting. I guess you would have gone maybe south. Probably makes the most sense, honestly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just all the conflict to the north and east would have driven game away into hiding. South has been less, in theory, less difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta check something out though.
Did you lose the moose again, Rupert? He's just
he's
just joking.
I mean,
how did we lose it? What if he found it?
Yeah. Yeah, it just took a while.
It's okay.
So okay. I wonder if that's where. So, right. So from that recon, you hear like Rupert, you're probably surprised actually. You hear
Rabbits?
No. Who'd that be from?
Because Kasha makes good Hassenpfeffer.
But we didn't get any rabbits.
Well, I don't know.
No, that'd have been sad if you only got her.
I don't think that they would be out where you could see them right now. But what does he hear?
Hold on.
You want me to pause it?
No. You don't need to pause it. At all. All right. Yeah. So you hear, surprisingly, Rupert, you hear the sound of like a diesel engine nearby.
I'll pass that on.
Florian will tell you, get down, Rupert. Volkov, watch him. And he'll go out looking for it.
Yeah. See, I'm not completely helpless.
Yeah, you guys probably have you have your hunting gear, but you also probably have like your like a rifle. So you guys can. All right, so you're gonna move forward.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Florian. Roll recon because that's also stealth.
Okay, recon, and he's gonna use his trait. And here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
So he got an 8 and a 10.
Let's see what these guys are. Hold on.
Ren's going to be very protective of you, Rupert, because you're an injured soldier right now. And Volkov will offer to carry you if need be.
I don't think it's necessary.
It's probably not necessary, but you know.
He's only injured, like he's only got 1, you know.
No. But they're going to be in trouble with Kasha for letting Rupert get injured, so they're being very careful.
Accidents happen. It'll be okay. What happened to you saying about being real men? Just being in the woods.
I do want to be a real man, but if my wife finds out, we're in trouble. Not in trouble for going out into the world, but we let you get injured.
It happens. I slipped. It happens.
Chasing a moose.
It happens.
Can we change the story? Like maybe it was a fox and it got away. And
Oh yeah, we got jumped by 5 ruffians that were big as trucks. Did that make you feel better?
It makes me feel better. I have a story to tell Kasha then. And she won't be like, why didn't you shoot it?
Just beware. I will not lie for it. So if she says anything, if she asks me, I will tell her the truth.
Slip chasing a moose.
It's weird. Okay.
Oh, maybe we should have brought Alexei. Should we have brought Alexei?
Oh, I think we're fine.
I want him to grow up knowing that when you go out hunting, you know. Maybe Uncle Max can take him. Maybe during the summer. Maybe it's a little cold for the kiddos to be out. But you know what would be perfect, Rupert? Be perfect if we could get 10 more kids and then I'd have a whole football team.
All right. So, all right, that makes sense.
I'm just shaking my head here. I know our viewers can't quite hear it, but I'm shaking my head.
Okay, Florian, you find when you kind of go over the ridge and you're surprised, you see there's 3 of you. You see about 20 men, mostly equipped with small arms, but the sound that you hear is like 20 men, and you see a T-72. There's about 4 army tents, and it's surrounded by trenches.
So does this look like an installation or that they're moving?
It looks like a temporary camp, but they're like down here.
We're looking.
I guess with that amount,
Carl, we are looking at the FKC compound.
Oh.
So our viewers don't know what down here is.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So they probably went down here hunting. They've been hunting in these woods. So they're at the edge of the map, near where the world ends and they fall off. But so probably you're probably like in this hex because you did travel a little bit to chase that moose.
Okay.
And you probably are fortunate that the moose didn't keep going because it probably stupid moose would have bled out and wandered into that camp. Anyway, they're set up with that role. They're not Soviets, actually. They are Czech. They're I guess the Czech border, I think, is like this way, down this way. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Are they on their side or are they in Poland?
I mean, they're close to Krakow. That's a bad thing. It's a T-72.
Okay.
Anyway.
And we have our radios with us.
Probably.
So I think.
Yeah, let me see.
Florian would definitely radio to those in Krakow and have the Ormal come up.
Well, hold on. Yeah, that is. So, like, so this town. So the Czech border is probably down here somewhere.
Okay. So are they on their side though?
Oh, no, they're in what was more or less Poland, right? So you're south of Obadovich.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that the Czech border is about 30 from here. That's 10. It's about 20 kilometers from where you guys are at.
It's not terribly far though.
Yeah. But anyway,
are they?
As you guys
are they in the tank or do we just see a tank?
You see a tank, but it's running. So anyway.
All right. Well, Florian's going to ask Rupert, can you patch into their radio frequency and see if they're talking?
You can try.
While you do that, I will call back to Krakow and have some forces sent up.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Oh, Rupert. Yeah, okay. You contact. Are you trying to get into them?
Yes.
We're trying to listen to what they're saying, what their intentions are.
Okay. Yeah, you listen in. I don't know if you can speak Czech, Rupert.
I probably won't, but Florian asked me to, so more than likely he might.
But with the 2 successes, you hear like English as well, but on a different channel.
Interesting.
As you're kind of going through, you're like, what? And then you hear like, stay on target, target acquired, stay on target. And then suddenly, as you're kind of calling back, and Florian, you're called back to Krakow, suddenly you hear like a plane.
From the Czech side or from us?
I don't know. I guess it would be coming from, the Czech side.
Okay.
Or maybe, I think it's flying. It's flying like west to east.
Heading towards Krakow?
No. It's a plane. And then you hear like a sound, and it's a missile.
Towards Krakow or towards the Czechs?
And it strikes the Czech camp, all but obliterating it. So they fired like a anti-tank missile.
The American, and
then like
the American voices fired at the Czechs.
Yeah, and as you see the plane kind of come into view and fly over, Florian and Rupert recognize it. You might whistle, Rupert. It's a A-10 Thunderbolt 2.
That's a Warthog.
Oh.
And it veers off and then heads towards the southeast. There's about 3 more Czech soldiers kind of stumbling out of the wreckage as you watch. But it doesn't seem like it. It probably it fired the missile, and then fired like some rounds from its from the Gatling gun, and then took off to the southeast. So I don't know if you want to deal with those.
Rupert would take a look to them and see, what do you want to play? How do you want to play this?
Well, Florian would say, okay, so Kasha in the back of my head said if there's injured people, we need to help because they're close to Krakow. We need to find out what they were doing over here, first of all. And I've already asked for people to come up, so the ambulance should be here soon, I hope.
So what do you want to have them try to surrender or stand down? Or do you want to engage them and hopefully you don't kill them all?
Well, I think Florian would suggest that we sneak up or just walk right up and say, what's going on? Do you need help? Type of thing. Play dumb like they don't know what just happened, although.
I mean, you just saw what happened.
Well, they're playing dumb, Carl.
Well, I mean, we saw what happened. We just don't know what's involved with it. What's the story behind it? That's what we're trying to find out.
You guys are kind of dressed in like as hunters and hunting gear, right? A camo probably, but hunting gear.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you could do that. I guess Florian, give me a persuasion roll. Whoever's got the best persuasion.
I'll stay on the comms though to try to hear what they say.
He has a CD.
As this goes down.
He has a CD for persuasion, and Volkov has a BB.
Yeah, Volkov can probably try to persuade them to stand down, or
he'll push it
to be cool.
He pushed it.
Okay.
So he's got an 8.
He's stressed. Got stressed. All right, so they kind of look at you, and they're like, let's see if how many are injured. Yeah, they're all like injured as they kind of stumble out. They do have, Czech equivalent of Czech knockoff of an AK-47. Probably like, whatever that might be. And they kind of look at you. They go, help, please. Look, Americans devastated. Look, from the sky. I thought those were their, they start speaking in Czech, but then they switch to Polish, realizing they're in Polish territory.
Well, Florian would speak in Czech and tell them, put down your weapons and we'll aid you. What were you doing here?
You guys have your weapons out?
Well, I mean, Volkov told him to calm down and he was persuasive.
Yeah.
So I don't see why we would have them trained at them, but obviously we have mounts, a hunting rifle.
Yeah. Well, it's a sniper rifle, but...
But you know what I mean.
Right. And Rupert probably has you probably have like hunting rifles, but then you have your FN on your shoulder, right? So
no, not my FN. It'll be my G3, but yes.
G3, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We don't look normal, but that's okay.
No, yeah, you guys are all large men out hunting. They put down their weapons and they can tend to their wounds if you want to.
Yeah, Florian.
And you get.
We have people en route. We have a hospital not far in Krakow. You may return with us. Why did the Americans attack you?
I don't know. I did not know. I didn't even know how they knew we were here.
It is very obvious. You have a tank and you had tents, and I wouldn't say you did a very good job of hiding yourselves.
But where are they coming from?
The sky, obviously.
They're very confused because they're like, I mean, I guess there could be a base in Austria, Vienna. Right, Vienna is like, it's still kind of far, Vienna from...
It does not matter where they came from. It only matters why they were after you. So we will have to figure this out. There are Americans in Krakow. We will find out.
Mm-hmm.
But my understanding is that they were called back. But anyways, can you walk or are you too injured to walk?
Yeah, it's like 470 kilometers from Krakow to Vienna.
An A10 can make that easily.
Yeah. I mean, off the top of your heads, that would seem the closest,
I mean, I don't think they would be... I'm trying to think of where else they could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Czech front is like. I'm sure I could read about it somewhere in one of the supplements. But anyway, that made more sense than the Soviet group being there. And I did look very quickly, and it did say that the Czech forces that sometimes harass Silesia are to the south. Well, they go, you were asking a lot of questions for hunters. Krakow? They kind of like stop talking.
I will give you a choice. We can either help tend to your wounds, or we can leave you here without any of your ability to defend yourself, because I will not allow you to have guns here or a tank in our territory, and you can survive on your own, or you can tell me what's going on.
Well, there's 3 of you and there's 3 of us.
I guarantee you do not want to pick a fight with us.
Is that Florian?
Yes.
Right, so give me a command with a bonus dice.
Do you want it to be a BB or a CA?
Well, that's up to you.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm not the one making the roll.
Vince, what's
Go
better?
with the higher, the BB, I say.
BB? Okay.
Okay, no problem. They don't go for their guns or anything stupid like that. So you can take them into custody, give them first aid,
treat their wounds.
Yep.
Do they have a small vehicle there? That was not destroyed?
Yeah, but it's going to be hard going through the snowy woods and stuff. I mean, it's better to just trek like you guys have.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
We'll better fix your wounds when we get back. You can see the doctor. But I will give you some advice. Don't lie to us. What were you doing in Polish territory when you're not far from your home?
They hem and haw, but over the course of the next couple days, as you march back to Krakow, you get out of them that they're trying to do like a false flag operation, and like you see that they have like they get that they're trying to pretend to be Silesia and attack Krakow.
And you don't think Krakow would attack you back?
Well, I mean,
this was not a wise plan. And Silesia, if they knew you were there, would take you out as well.
Yes, but then the idea was, I hear that there are negotiations opening between Silesia and Krakow. We have been charged by the Warsaw Pact.
You realize the Warsaw Pact died with the war.
Well, I guess you learned that there's a warlord in Opava, a Czech warlord in Opava, who probably still has ties to something.
Are you loyal to this warlord and have family that you need to go back to?
Yeah, it's a Moravian coal mining town that dates back to the 12th century. It's pretty undamaged. And you don't know anything. I mean,
is his intention to harm?
But we are supposed to. We have not upset the Americans. I don't. So who knows why? It's just kind of random, maybe, or maybe the Americans were planning something out of Vienna or Italy.
Maybe if you weren't driving around in a tank, you wouldn't cause attention to come to yourself. Your warlord. Are you dutiful to him, or are you just doing as you're told and wish not to return?
Well, I guess we're your prisoners until springtime.
That was not my question.
But that is my answer.
Do you wish to return to your home, or do you wish not to?
Yes, I would like to return to my home. But it's wintertime, and I'm not going to walk.
You're welcome to stay in Krakow in the meantime. But we will not have you attacking us. You set a false flag, but were you actually your intentions to harm Krakow or Silesia?
Well, that was the idea.
To attack us.
Again, they're what they're trying to do is cause problems between Cilicia and Krakow, because that was the orders that they were given.
Hmm. And you have radio frequencies home?
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Rupert, do you think you could patch into the coordinates that they have? We can discuss this.
Kind of far.
I might not be able to reach it with my antenna, but I mean, within Krakow,
Yes,
there
but
might be a few contacts we may be able to use.
Yeah, I mean, with the A10 around, you might want to talk to your American contacts.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
We'll,
Well,
we'll, we'll,
I guess this is not the end of the season because it's probably a good place to stop as complications continue. Another plot.
Always some.
Always something. Yeah.
so we're not going to Christmas?
No, but we'll set that up for next time, or we'll start with that. Hey, but you got food for Christmas.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
A moose and the hunting expedition.
And the boar.
Yep, a boar and a moose. That's pretty good. Ham and moose. I don't know.
Can have a ham and moose sandwich.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep.
All right. You can have the Pope bless the meat, it's holy meat.
Well, I mean, I think we have to get back, don't we, and get them into the hospital and stuff? Don't.
I'm just gonna. Sorry. I'm just gonna get you there. I don't see anything interesting happening. Like you made your command and your persuasion. They're not, and you have them under guard, and they're injured. So they're taking like some shrapnel wounds, and you patched them up a bit, but they'll be okay until they get to like a hospital, and like during the course of a couple days or whatever it takes to get back. They.
But it might be good for them to be there and see Cilicia coming to Krakow.
Oh yeah, well they're like they said they're not going to go. They'd like to go back, but they're not going to go anywhere during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
They die of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely colder and snowy, right? So, well, cool. Well, that was fun. Yep. But don't forget to give you guys your XPs. And I'll give you XP for traveling in new hexes because you wanted the hunting.
Yay! It's been a long time since we've traveled in that. So it's how many do you want to give us, Carl?
Well, all the people that kind of talked and operated get at least one, right? Or two, probably. Okay. Where is it? I know there's a little handout somewhere.
It's about 4 or 5. I think it's about 5 this time.
But only 2 for Kasha.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. No. But for the main 3 that were there will be about 5.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so Florian gets 5.
Oh, here it is.
Bolt coffee.
Oh, no, let's expend. Combat tables.
It's okay. We decided on 5. That's good.
Okay. Here's the Nostrovi coaster.
Well, the Nostrovi. I made that coaster.
Yeah, I have it here.
Almost 5 years ago.
Yep, it's right here. It's pretty cool. It's funny.
Thank you for playing, Vince.
Yeah, thanks for playing. I thought we were going to get to the Christmas celebration, but that's okay. I was ready to go over that, but, we did a lot of talky. The important things, we set up Operation Reset, and I guess probably Rupert, in the back of his head, he's like, I think I need to talk to Mr. The CIA guy, Mr.
Oh, yeah, especially after this new event.
Mr. Blackstone? Mr. Blackstone or the other one?
Well, Blackstone, the other guy. Okay. Well, Stark is gone. The DIA guy is gone, but this guy, this guy's name, Kowalski. There he is.
But it seems as though what we need to do...
Kozakovsky.
Yeah. What we need to do is find out what good they thought was going to come from putting a strife between the two of us, or is it that they were trying to take one out to conquer the other?
Let me see if there are...
Sounds like something we got to figure out.
Yeah, we don't like complications this
let me
close to
roll.
Christmas.
Yeah, it is a little suspicious, but let me see if it... Oh, so there's three of them,
we
right?
got time.
There's three of them, so like we'll just ask that question before we sign off, and then you can... I'll see if they know anything. They might not.
Ask what their purpose for...
Yeah, well, I mean, they were given orders to conduct a false flag operation. That's what you know, or that's what they know. But whether one of them knows more, I will let you know.
Okay, so what do you want us to roll?
Nothing. I'm gonna roll. Nope. Oh.
Well, the first one knows nothing. The second one may know something.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't give him intelligence, but what I rolled there. That's fine. I rolled a 6, so that would have worked for a... Okay, so one guy says that is the warlord. Apparently, he heard through his through their lieutenant or their the tank commander or the head NCO that is now buried under snow and dirt and the remains of a T-72, that their leader got a communication from somebody he suspects. He says probably KGB, but you don't know, to try to disrupt a potential alliance. I didn't even, because I don't know what's going on. I am just a soldier, but that's what I heard. I'm telling you the truth. You feel like he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like we need to place a call to Lupulin, because that sounds like the GRU to me, Rupert.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that's good. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. Got to see what things are going. New mystery on our hands.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So that gives me some good, good fodder for like our people who listen to this regularly. We will probably take a break, and it'd be nice if we get some comments or requests to see if we should do Red Star, Lone Star, or can do some Going Home and intertwine it with this. But for sure, we're going to take a little break. It has been 5 years. It's good to take a little break and then reset, refresh, and continue with the story. Maybe push a la, like Walking Dead and other series where they kind of push the timeline a year or two, or something. That'd be kind of cool. Especially now since Rupert made a prototype of
Yep. There's an extra one now
of the device. Cool stuff.
We'll have
All
to
right.
give it a test.
Yes. Fun stuff. All right. Thanks, guys, for playing. Thank you all for tuning in and listening. One of these days, we might stream. I think this would be the game to stream on a Tuesday. And maybe one of these days we'll stream Twilight 2000. So anyway, talk to you guys soon.
Yep. Good night.
And
good rolling. Bye.
Bye.